Hi guys, welcome back to L Talk, the Real Talk, and today we're going to get into some real talk as per usual. I feel like it's been a while since we've had a sit down chat because, I don't know, life's a bit crazy at the moment, but do you know what? When God gives you a word, you really just got to release it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. As a woman, don't ever let anyone distract you from what you're trying to do. Don't ever let anyone distract you from becoming the best version of yourself. Because guys come and go, friends come and go, but you yourself, you need to be focusing on you. You need to focus on becoming the best version of yourself. And you can't allow anyone to distract you from that journey, because I don't know if anyone else is like this, but whenever you're on a journey of self-development or self-love or self-care, there's always a distraction sent, and sometimes it can throw you off. Sometimes it can take you away of what you're actually trying to do, and you can't allow anyone to slow you down. You can't allow anyone to take you off track. We all have a woman in our head that we all want to become. We all have a man in our head that we want to become. We all have a future version of ourselves that we want to become, and the only way we're going to get there is if we're putting in the work and not allowing anyone to stop us. You know, now is the time to really focus on what you want to achieve, focus on where you want to go, focus on who you want to be, and not allow anyone to stop you. You know, in this life, you're only this age once. You're only going to be in this year once. You're only going to be in this month once until next year. Don't get into the habit of repeating the same cycles every year. You know, I went through stages in my life where I was repeating the same cycle every year. Every year at the same time, I'd be in the same position. You know, the years would be going by, but I wasn't really moving forward. And I only realized that this year, that every year I was making the same mistakes. I was still falling in the same areas. I didn't know my weaknesses, so I would always fall by my weaknesses. You know, I spoke about in my last video, you got to know your weaknesses. You got to know the areas that you're weakest in. Otherwise, those are the areas that's going to always draw you back to your old self. You know, I know for myself, bro, I don't have time to be getting distracted by no guy. I'm not in a season of dating anyone, because I'm in a season of elevation. I'm so focused on elevating myself and doing me and becoming the best version of myself that I will not allow a guy to come and distract me. I will not allow myself to fall into that. I ain't ready to be dating anyone. I'm not ready to see anyone. And that's a sacrifice I've made to better myself. Because I know the woman that I envision myself as, she has to do certain things right now to become her. I've got to sacrifice certain things. I've got to put in more time with myself. I've got to make sure I'm doing things to become the best version of myself. And I can't allow anyone to distract me. So yeah, in this time of my life, I don't have I don't have time to be going out every week with friends. I don't have time for that. My time, I'm booked up. Like, I've booked myself up with myself. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm focusing on right now that takes a lot of my time. You know, I don't have time to be talking on the phone late night to friends. I don't have time to be talking on the phone late night to guys. That time is used for something. It's used for my development. Sometimes I'm planning. Sometimes I'm working on my projects that are going to come out in the future. Sometimes I'm reading my flipping Bible, mate. Sometimes I'm praying. Like, majority times, my time at night is taken up, and I don't have time to be talking for hours. I'm at that age where I can't be nursing any friendships. Yeah, I have friends, but at the same time, if you're going to be friends with me, you got to understand that I'm busy right now. I'm on my grind. Like, I'm really trying to become the best version of myself. Any guy that's trying to talk to me, you got to understand, I'm busy. I need to focus on myself. We can't be allowing a guy to come in and start distracting us. We're on our own journey. Why are you allowing a guy to come in and just distract you, sis? Why are you allowing a guy to come in and just take you away from what you're focusing on? If you're focusing on your job, focus on your job. If you're focusing on building your career, build your career before you allow a guy to come in and take you away from that. If a guy's really interested, he'll understand that he needs to wait. Yeah, you may be waiting a year, you may be waiting a month, you may be waiting a couple of weeks, but don't allow a guy to rush you out of your own journey. If you're on a journey, stay on the journey. I've had guys, while I've been on this journey since April, babes. April or May. And I've had guys try and come in, and I'm saying, I'm on a self-development journey. I don't have time to date. I don't have time to be talking on these late night phone calls. I don't have time to be getting to know anyone. I'm going to be honest. I don't have time to get to know you. Even if I was interested, I know my journey. I know what season I'm in. I'm not in a season to date anyone. I don't have time. And if I'm going to give you time, that means I'm going to give less time to myself. And I can't afford that. I don't have enough time for both of us. And unfortunately, I've got to sacrifice you. I've had guys come in and I've actually liked them. Like, I enjoy their company. I enjoy talking to them. But unfortunately, I've had to say, like, I'm sorry, but I can't get to know you at this point. I don't have time. My time is occupied. My time is very valuable, and I can't waste it on getting to know you. And I know, one, you're not my husband. Two, I don't have time. I don't have time. And It's okay, because if they really are the one, they'll circle back, or they will wait for you, or it will work out. Don't feel though, oh my God, what if I miss him? You can't miss what's for you if you're on track with God. When you're aligned with God, you can't miss anything for you. There's always going to be counterfeits coming. There's always going to be someone coming. Yeah, they may look like your type, but if it's not your season, don't force it. I know it gets lonely sometimes. I know you're like, oh, but it's been a while since I've dated a guy. Yeah, it may have been a while. Yeah, been there. I started saying, God, listen, it's been a while, mate. I've got this guy showing me attention, but it's like he's saying, yo, you know what season you're in. I've got to make sure that I'm allowing myself to transition into my new person without being interrupted, you know? It's the same process as a butterfly. It starts off as a caterpillar. Then it goes into that cocooning stage. That's what stage I'm in. And many of us need to enter that stage, that cocooning stage, where we're developing, we're transforming. And in that process, no one can interrupt us. The caterpillar doesn't come out of the cocoon. It stays in there for months and it transforms. And when it comes out, it's a butterfly. It's completely developed. And that's the stage some of us need to go in. You know, we got certain things we need to be doing, and we can't allow ourselves to be coming out of this development stage too early. You know, a baby stays in the womb for 9 months because it needs to develop, it needs to grow, it needs to change into who it's meant to be. You know, it starts off as a seed. And then it develops into a full-blown baby. And that's what we need to be doing, ladies. We need to be going into that stage where we're developing ourselves. We need to be letting go of certain people. We need to be letting go of certain things. We need to be distancing ourselves. We need to be in that cocoon stage where we're saying, no, I'm working on myself right now. I'm developing myself right now. I'm making sure that I'm getting rid of anything that doesn't need to be here. You know, because when a work needs to be done in yourself, there's certain things you need to let go of. There's certain things you need to sacrifice. And I'm here to tell you that, yo, you can't be just out here doing da-da-da-da-da. You need to have a plan. You need to know what you're doing with yourself. How are you going to become your future self if you're not even making moves right now? What does your future woman look like? And what are you doing every day to become her? What are you letting go of? Are you watching too much TV? Are you talking too much on the phone? You know, I don't have time for all of that right now. I don't have time to be talking on the phone to people. I don't have time to be messaging constantly. I don't have time to be going out. If I'm going to go out with you, you got to pre-book me. You got to pre-book me, baby. You got to slot with me. Because I can't give you my whole day. If I'm going out with a friend, then you got to slot. In the morning, I'm getting stuff done. You got to slot in the afternoon, then in the evening, I'm coming back home. Or you may have me in the evening, but during the day, I'm doing stuff. You know, I got a lot of stuff to do. My life is very busy. Although you may think your life is not busy or you feel like you don't have stuff to do, trust me, there's stuff to do. What do you want to do with your life? Who do you want to be? Don't allow anyone to stop your grind, and don't feel discouraged because you feel as though you're not there yet. Trust me, it's a process. It's not easy, but you have to put in the work in order to become that future person. You have to put in the work in order to become the woman you see yourself as. Because we all have a future woman in mind, but we all need to do steps. We all need to take steps to become her. You know, it's not always the best time for a relationship. It's not always the best time to date. It's not always the best time. Just because you like a guy doesn't mean you need to date him straight away. Do you even know who you are? Who are you? Because when you know who you are, being around someone will never change you. It will never distract you. It will never sway you. You will know who you are. Because as women, we need to become strong, independent women. We need to have our own mind. We need to know exactly who we are. We need to know who we are. We need to have our own careers. We need to have our own goals. We can't go with a guy and get lost in a guy's shadow. We can't just go with a guy and just get lost in that guy's world. You know, that's what I used to do in the past. I didn't really know who I was. So whenever I date a guy, I would just get lost in his world. Like, I would just be in his world. I'd usually date guys that had a big life or a big personality. Like, I could just go with them and I'm just invisible. I'm just escaping into their world, like, and I don't need to think about myself. But you know, that's not right. That's not right. That just showed that I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I had to offer. And although they look at me and think, oh, she's lit, in my head, I'm thinking, bro, I'm trying to escape my world. Like, and we can't do that. We got to be building our world. We got to build our lives. You know, we got to build ourselves as an individual so that when we do eventually date someone, we are two individuals coming together as one. That way, we both have our own lives, but we can create a life together. Don't ever try and date a guy because you're lonely. Don't ever try and go to a guy because you feel as though it's been a while or you're just bored. Don't ever sell yourself short like that. You know, it don't matter if you're bored. Grow, sis. Get to know yourself. Work on yourself. Because if you're bored by yourself, you're still going to be bored with someone else. Don't use that person to fill your time because you become codependent on that person. Like, I'm not a child anymore. I can't just go with a guy because I feel like going with a guy. I can't just date a guy because I feel like dating a guy. No. Is it my time to date? Is it my time to see a guy? Is it my time for that? I can't just be going out with friends because I feel like I need to. Is there something I need to be doing for myself before I think about going out with friends? My loyalty lies with God, myself, and then whoever is on the same journey as me. Listen, I don't know about this loyalty thing that everyone talks about, you know. I'm only loyal to God. And if you're my brother or sister in Christ, then I'm loyal to you. But we got to be on the same journey. because I can't be led astray by someone else. Okay? Like, you can't just lean on your own understanding. You can't just make decisions because you feel like it. You can't be impulsive anymore. You can't be spontaneous. Be spontaneous, yeah, but you can't just be impulsive. You got to make calculated decisions, yeah, take risks, yeah, but don't be impulsive and just do things just because you feel like it. Because that's long. You're wasting time, sis. You need to start knowing what you want to do with your life. You need to start taking steps forward. You can't just wake up every day and go with the flow. Yeah, actually, yeah, you can. You can go with the flow, but that's only when you're aligned with God. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wake up and I go with the flow, but I go with God's flow. I don't go with my flow, because sometimes I don't feel like doing stuff, but I know God is like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I don't feel like always trying to be the best version of myself. What, you feel like, do you feel like I don't want to always be self-controlled. Sometimes I want to let loose. But sometimes I have to be self-controlled. I can't just do what I want to do. I can't just do what the old Lakeisha want to do. I'm not a child anymore. I'm not a kid. And the only way to progress and really mature is to stop making the same mistakes you've been making. Okay? Yeah, that guy may be trying to come back in your life, but don't allow him to come back. There's a reason he's an ex. There's a reason you let that go. How did you feel when you was with him? Not great, right? So why are you even thinking about letting that come back? No. If it was going to change, it would have been changed. The future has so much for you. And you'll only know that if you just let go of the past and step into the future. What decision are you meant to be making? Are you meant to be hanging on to your past, that guy, that dead friendship? Like, why do you have friends that don't bring you joy? Why do you have friends that ain't making moves with you? Because I can't be around someone that ain't pushing me forward, because it will be easy for me to fall into old habits with you. And anytime I'm feeling weak, you're right there to bring me back to square one. And although I've got love for you, I can't be around that. Yeah. I got an ex that was my favourite. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I think about him. Yeah. But I'm better than that now. I'm not saying I'm better than that person, but I'm better than that situation. I'm better than that situation. I've matured and I've grown, so I know that although I miss that, I'm better than that. And that's the mindset you got to have. It's okay to miss the past, but you got to tell yourself every day that I'm better than those situations. I'm better than that stage of my life. I've grown. I don't want to take a step back. I only want to take a step forward. Now is the time. It's coming up to the end of the year. You got to start making decisions. 2022 is going to be the best year of our lives so far. You better start declaring that. Don't be going into 2022 with the past. Don't be going into 2022 with baggage. Yeah, you remember that meme from like 014 where that girl, she's stepping on the blocks and the blocks say prosperity, success, and the thing she's leaving behind her is old relationships and breakups and all that rubbish. Yeah, sis, we stepping up. We're not stepping up into the past. We're stepping up into the future. Don't go into the future with the past, because the past will only lead you back. The future is where you're heading. Stick with that. God has a plan for all of us. But you need to be serious about following God's plan for your life. Otherwise, you're never going to really fulfill your purpose. You're never going to be truly satisfied if you don't follow God's plan for your life. And you know what? I honestly hope that this message touched you, that you know that let go of the past, move forward. It's time to focus on yourself. You got insecurities, focus on yourself. A guy's not going to heal your insecurities. A guy's not going to heal your self-doubt. You got to do that. You got to work through that. Work on yourself. Work on loving yourself. And all things will follow.